Hello, hello, hello. Hello, good people. My name is Gladys Miss GK, and yeah, let's have a chat. Like my title suggests, what is your opinion on matters? There's this couple, if you're Kenyan or if you happen to know them, they are, well, they're still the CEO of Bonfire Adventures, Sarah and Simon Kabu. And I just want us to have you know, let's start and talk about what we can see is going on with them. Um, I like to draw lessons from, things that I see happening, if it's like on social media or, stories that I come across. My goal is always to draw a lesson from them and to learn. Life is all about learning so that you can know, what to do in life. So, just a small background story. This couple they're a big social media couple. They have a big business in Kenya. They have two children, and currently at the moment they're going through, um, in my opinion, a messy divorce. They are putting the information all out there and talking about, you know, he did, she did, and for me, I'm just, trying to see what lessons am I learning? What lessons, Gladys, are you getting from this couple? What is it that they could have done differently? And what is it that I can see could have been the red flags that they had and they missed? So that's my purpose here today. Um, if you have joined the stream and you want to privately or comment about it, you're welcome and free to do that. Otherwise, I just, for me, I just wanted to, come up here. And I have seen a lot. I don't know if you have seen the kind of mess they all have been through, but I have seen quite a few clips of them going back and forth about it together. And I kept wondering to myself, how come, on I mean, I do social media too. And of course, I pick and choose what I'm showing. But the picking and choosing what I'm showing is more on keeping my stuff privately, that is not to be like, out there, but not where I am hiding who I am. I love to sing in the choir. I love to cook. I love to travel. I have shared my family online. I have shared my baby's pictures from when she was young to like now she's all growing up. I think I have shared a lot of my stuff online, but I know one of the things I have not done is hidden who I am. And I think that is one of the things, in my opinion, that people do when they hide who they are, or they tend to cover up who they are, or tend to like, make a rehearsal of how they're going to come online and what they're portraying online. And so it makes me really think and wonder if most couples who come online or most families who come online, they you know they kind of rehearse, or they kind of you know um have a script of who they are and what to say and what not to say, you know because if that's the case, it's pretty much like they're just making a movie or a film, but not really sharing their everyday life with every one of us. And that's very concerning. That's very, very concerning. It reminds me of when I used to really, really love watching wrestling until when I learned that part of wrestling is, WrestleMania was more just like for entertainment. And they were just showing us something that they wanted us to see. And that really like it broke my heart. When I learned that, I just like I was heartbroken because I used to really love it and I used to just love the whole fight thing and it gave me adrenaline. And then growing up to learn that it was all scripted, it was all a show, it was all, just for cameras. That was the end of me and the show. I just could not watch wrestling anymore. I just could not. Even now, when they have big fights, I remember even watching the last fight for what's his face, the last boxing match we just watched. To me, it was nothing. It was just like because in my head, I was just like, what is reality and what is scripted? And I completely, in my mind, saw it to be scripted, and I never wanted to ever watch it again. So now I come back to now why I'm talking about this couple. And let me just play something little here first. Let's see. I'm not sure how it will appear on my, let's see, on my screen. Mm, am I playing it or not? Uh,
Had a romantic encounter with a stranger while traveling.
Kwa nini wazungu wanapenda Wamasai? Alafu wewe Simon, nimegundua kila wakati ukienda ng'ambo unataka kuvalia hizo nguo za Masai. Because you know they are attracting girls.
They are free. No, they are free.
They are attracting white girls.
They are free. They are free.
They are attracting white business.
Yes, white business.
Yeah. Never have I ever had a romantic encounter with a stranger while traveling.
so so yeah, I hope it did play. So for me, when I saw that, that was just a small. I think that was just a small script. I really hope it did play. That was a small script that they did with one of the couples that they were Jesus family, and it just seemed like they're just having a good chat. And she was asking, if you guys don't understand English, she asked, so why is it, Simon, that you like to put on the Maasai stuff? Is it to attract the girls? Why are you and you see, it's something that is it's so simple. It can be so innocent. It's like no big deal. She's just asking, why are you putting on this Maasai outfit? Is it to attract the girls? And it's nothing to really really think about. But in hindsight, we have seen that, or I have come to see that these people had a bunch of problems. They have had a bunch of problems. And I'm going to be bringing in a few of those things as we continue discussing and seeing why I'm having that mindset. Um it's now becoming apparent that they were having so many issues. It's becoming apparent that it wasn't just all about, you know, about just every like this the just the dressing only, but there was much more. There was a lot of pretense. They were not happy. There was a lot of abuse. There was a lot of, you know, they built a good business together. Don't get me wrong. Bonfire Adventures happened to be a very big tours and travel company in Kenya right now. And it's still very active. It's still very active and they're doing very, very well, or they did very, very well. But it's now become to a point where it's just not that only. It is more on the things that he did not do as a husband, he did not do as a father, he did not do as a partner. And and it becomes very interesting to now come and learn all this stuff, and you now look back and you're wondering, what do you mean these are things that he did not do? Like, are you saying that you guys started a business and you didn't have a plan? That's one of the things I ask myself. I'm like, how are you a couple and you don't have a plan of how you're going to carry forward your business? And so looks like it was just all a business relationship. It was nothing to do with, it was just a business, and nothing to do with them continuing as a couple. They did not separate their business and being a couple. And just now I'm trying to find more of what I'm talking about, because I think it will make sense if I bring in what I am saying. So there was a video. Let me try and find it. There was a video she just recently did with, here it is. So this video, as you can see, on this video, she did it with Dr. Ofoneke. Dr. Ofoneke is one of, he's among the people who do a lot of, like, entertainment and showbiz in Kenya. And she invited him for an interview, and they were talking about, now in hindsight, after the whole messy divorce, about, going back to see what really happened. And so he's asking her, what really happened? Like, can we go down and just talk about, like, what happened? Like, what's up? What's going on? And let me see if I can, let's see. I want to make it a big screen so you all can just see it properly, so that I can also be looking. Okay. Okay, let's see. I wish I can just okay, there you go. So I wanted to make it big screen so that when we are playing it, we can clearly be seeing what she's talking about. And I will go in bits and pieces so that it makes sense, because it's a long video. So I will not play the whole video, or if I do, I plan not to, like, make it, like, play the whole thing continuously. But like I was saying, my goal here today is for us to understand to at least have an understanding of, or let's just discuss, even if we will not understand, let's agree to agree and try and understand what is it that, what are the lessons we will get from this. Because anyway, let me try and play in bits and pieces for us, so that we can kind of like, understand. And I'm hoping I will not miss the important parts. So in the beginning, she talks about her life. Okay.
That's when unaenda unajiekelea masaa kidogo unaamka tena. So during the day kila mtu ako zake uko creating content for the business.
It didn't feel weird that this is the father to my children. This is the and we cannot even look at each other. We cannot even spend on the same bed. It didn't feel weird. Was there no temptation to try and work things out at some point?
We tried. We have seen the leading family counselors, marriage counselors or therapists. We've seen like 3, and all of them at some point they got tired. So that's when we were referred. Even the counselors gave us blessings. Now they cannot help. They told us where mali imefika. For us, now we've done our best.
Okay. So I hope I'm being audible enough. You see, she says, and I like that. The lesson I'm getting for her talking about that part is that she did everything she could in trying to salvage her relationship, or in trying to, make the relationship work. So for me, I'm glad and I applaud Sarah for that she tried to do everything she can for her relationship. You see? So for that, I applaud her. Kudos, Sarah, for trying, because it is important when even if the relationship ends, it's important for people, or if there's bumps on the way in any relationship, it's always good to try and make it work. So for that, I will applaud Sarah, that she did try and make her relationship work.
Maybe now try other avenues. So that's when I approached our friend here, Wakili Mwenda Njagi.
A very good friend of mine. Big shout out to you, sir.
Yes, that was in January 2023. After, like, I would say 5 years of juggling from one therapist to a psychologist, even at some point psychiatrist, because you really can't understand what is happening. So when we approached Wakili, I was ready for the divorce. Like, I walked into his office, I want to divorce. Where do we start? So he advised me, you can't start with like, you can't go directly and file the papers. We need to try the mediation, because he was also our great fan. The things I was telling him, he could not relate. So even him, he feared to just pick the paper or ask for papers and go to divorce direct.
So you see, she even clearly states that they tried. She clearly states that they tried mediation. They tried to make things work. And the most important thing for me I draw from this is that they sought help. They sought help and they tried to make it work until now they were told, you know what? Now, where the stage you guys are at, you guys just better just stop. This can no longer work. So I want to like move a little bit ahead to where now I found it to be now getting a little interesting.
Najua wako. Lakini hapa katikati ni kama, do you ever feel like you needed to fight for yourself to probably prove that, hey guys, I'm alive, niko hapa?
For me, I would say, I think I was the favorite kid of my parents. That kid that every parent wants, Pole.
Okay. So she's still talking about her life and how things were at home and whatnot. Let's keep going.
Or an accountant. Yeah, when I finished school.
Wow.
Okay, so she wanted to be an accountant and whatnot.
Was looking for a husband.
A husband.
Yes, but I don't think they were ready to be husbands. Uh, they just wanted.
Yeah, she's talking about her, wanting to be a husband and whatnot. And honestly, I really also would like to applaud Ofweneke. He did conduct the interview nicely. He wasn't stepping on her toes. He let her express herself. And then at the same time, remember, this is now in hindsight after the whole divorce. And so now trying to really understand where her mind is at and what her plan is going forward, but at the same time trying to understand what is it that really happened. So you can't just like go in an interview and start asking somebody, hey, what happened, let us know, what's the tea. You have to first let them be comfortable and then come on and now ask them, really, can you just like let us know what really happened.
Financial stability versus handsomeness. Do you really care?
Maybe I would say at that time I actually used to fear very handsome men, though some of my exes were very handsome. But I used to fear handsome men because now every girl wants him. So sorry to say, maybe I hear people.
Honestly, it's really, I'd hate to say this, but Sarah is and was a very naive and sweet lady. She was a sweet girl growing up. She's the type of girl who would easily like fall for anybody who just, would be nice to her. And you see how I don't think she has self-esteem issues. She's very level-headed. She knows exactly what she wants to do. She's a go-getter. She she really works hard. So I think she how do I put this? I think you see how she's talking about I couldn't fall for very handsome people, handsome men. Can I be right to say that she low key looked down upon herself and so that others deserve those handsome guys, but I don't, you know? Because that's how I'm looking at it. Like she's looking at it like they deserve it. They deserve those men, but I don't. And that's very concerning because you're a beautiful woman, Sarah. You look at her. She's intelligent, even the way she's answering the questions. But in the same breath, it's like she wasn't too sure about herself, in my opinion. In my opinion.
Saying that Kenyans should be stopped from marrying short men. So for me, yes, I also noticed my ex was short, but I felt that since he's short, not many girls will want him. So for me, I would say I was one of those people who didn't care about handsomeness as long as you can get a lover, someone who is there for you, someone who loves you, someone who doesn't have a chain of women.
So clearly, this is a woman who knew what she wanted and she wasn't going to, she wasn't going to, take a guy just because of how he looks. But at the same time, I feel like she compromised on who she was marrying because she wasn't too sure about marrying that type of guy that she wanted. She low-key settled for this guy because because of whatever reasons she had. Is it the best person? Was it the best person who was courting her at that time? I don't think so. Was it somebody who was going to add value to her life? I don't think so. Was it somebody who was respecting her at that time and really the best option for her? I don't think so. Just from how she's talking, because she's saying that I didn't believe that I could get those very handsome guys. That she low-key settled for a short man. Not saying he's short, but she low-key did that. So, yeah.
Yes.
And for you, in your lifetime, you knew I can get a man who is for me and just me.
Yes. And I knew maybe that would be found in a short man.
You see, she admits it. That she got a guy for her, and that guy could have been found in a short guy. She admits it. That yes, she was getting this guy not because he was exactly meeting her requirements, but she settled for this short guy. She did settle. She did settle. She admits it.
Well, well. So between this your ex, who is also a very good friend of mine, shout out to him, because I know, of course, lazima ataona interview as well.
Yes.
So, and a man I also respect equal as I respect you, ma'am.
Yes.
And so which one came first? Was it the dream for Bonfire that came first, or this beautiful love in the beginning that came first? Which one came first?
I would say it's
Okay, so I've watched their story so many times. I know both came first, both the man and the bonfire, the adventures came they all came together. So that I know for sure. That I know for sure because both of them came at the same time and they've built such a big company together. Like I said earlier, it is it's a $1 billion, well, not $1 billion, shilling. They are in Kenya shillings, they are considered, they can sit in the millionaire clubs in Kenya. They're doing very well for themselves, having been, having not even inherited the wealth from their parents, but coming together as a couple and growing the business together. They've done a very, very good job at that. They have done so well. So it's not to say that couples cannot grow as business partners. They can. Business partners and couples can grow together. But in my experience, and in what even I'm hearing Sarah say now, even in this interview, I won't play the whole thing, but I'm just going down to pointing out what I'm really noticing. And like I said, we are drawing lessons so that we can learn what to do different. For me, the lesson as far as business and couples is that you guys have to have a place where you draw a line where if it is in the living room or in the bedroom, you're not talking business. You cannot have business talk. You have to just talk about the family, yourself. That is it. Because it's very hard when you are a couple and in business together to talk about anything different than business. You can always just be talking about business. Oh, so what are we doing? Bonfire Adventures related. What are we doing for the, the deals in December? What are we doing for the, like for example, like right now, they must be putting together packages for Valentine. What are we doing for the Valentine packages? And they're putting together all these wonderful packages, but they forget themselves who are the primary, primary stakeholders in that business. And like it's very unfortunate that um even if, yes, for them, they have people working for them in the company, they are the primary stakeholders. He was the CEO, or no. He was the managing director, and I think she was the, is it CEO? Which one is bigger? MD, CEO? No, he was the CEO and she was the MD. Pretty much he was the one who was top, and she was under, but all the decisions would be both of them to make. So it can be very, 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 honestly, it can be very scary that a couple would be together, but forget that, you know what? We are here and this business stops with us. So we need to do the best we can for our business. So the lesson for me that I'm taking from this couple matters business is that as business people, you have to decide where you draw the line. You have to decide you're working 8 to 5, or maybe like 10. Well, CEOs don't work, they shouldn't be working 24 hours. There would be a time where you're not working, right? So, to me, that's the lesson, that you cannot be working around the clock. No way. You guys can't be working around the clock. No absolute way. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. That just cannot happen, you know? Because in all honesty, I feel like there is so much going on in society right now that we cannot just be whack, 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 whack. Mm-mm. And these people have two very beautiful children. Beautiful, beautiful children. Let me see. Should I continue or come back again tomorrow so we can do more? No, I think we can continue a little bit. Let's see. Let me put it back on again. Let me put it back again. Yeah, let me put it back again so that we can continue a little bit.
Eyes, like you can just feel the mood. They are so madly in love. You, as you walk those two corridors you see in Santorini with the stairs, you just find couples kissing, passionately kissing, and you're like, hawa watu wameshindwa kufika room.
So basically, when they did, like they were owning this travel company, and oh poor Sarah, oh poor this lady, oh God. This is what I want you guys to picture. Picture going to the most executive, see, like she's even mentioning Santorini. these guys have been to Maldives, they've been to Santorini, they've been numerous times to Dubai, they've been to South Africa, they've been, I bet they've been to over 20 countries outside Kenya, to the most beautiful places, to like the touristic places, to like the honeymoon destinations. But with no with with like the fallen out of love. Picture that. These guys fell out of love, continued with business as usual, and they're going to these beautiful places. And it is so sad because she says, oh, I remember even one time, um, we both were on our phones, so they both are like busy on their phones. And we both are on our phones just looking, and I looked up and I just saw couples, couples having a good time, couples kissing, taking pictures, enjoying the moment. Like they would enjoy shows together, and then just, how couples are when they're in love. You forget everybody else is there. It's just the two of you only. It's just the two of you. Everybody else, it's like in the movies, how like everybody else is blurred out, and it's just the two of you. And that's when she realized, okay, things are really bad, because we are in these honeymoon destinations, but we are functioning, or we are coexisting, or trying to be happy together just for the cameras. Just for the cameras. And then when now the cameras are out, it's like back to business as usual. I had that and I'm just like, Sarah, how many Sarahs are out there? That's just my question here today. You know, like I said, I don't want to like make this video too long. I see I'm already 37 minutes in, and that's just what I'd like us to reflect here today. How many people are like Sarah and Simon? How many people just are coexisting together? For me, the lesson I'm getting from so far, what I have had, if I can recap, is that one, don't settle for who you want to marry. Number two, make yourself a priority in your relationship. If you're a social media couple, don't just be happy for the cameras. Don't just come out to like be happy just so that, just for the kids. You cannot do that, because over time, the truth comes out. Number three, if you're in business together as a couple, you have to have work hours. And if it's after work hours, you draw the line. After work hours is after work hours until work hours. It's very important to like, really define that, because you can have a good business, and they have grown their business, and it's a shame that they grew their business to be this, multi-million shilling company, or however billion dollars they have. It is a big company. It is a big company, one of the biggest, like I said, tours and travel company in Kenya, but the relationship suffered. Could they have done so many things differently? Yes. Could they have started the counseling way ahead of time and defined the time and even hired, it's good for such companies to even hire a manager, and the manager would now, all the other questions that they are bringing to you every day would be the manager solving. And then over time, oh, oh, it's time for me to go. Sorry, excuse me. Over time, um, you learn to like delegate. So people in business, that's a good lesson for you. That's my lesson. That's the lesson I draw from that. And also the other lesson I draw from that is just apart from doing business together, it is to have other activities. It wouldn't just be business and business and business and business. And you see, and I could see how for them it became very tricky, because most people who are in business, say for example, if it's a home care business, and then you're doing fun stuff together is traveling. But for them, their business is traveling. So you see how it can really be difficult, because you're having fun, and they would even travel with their children. I think they even at some point like had their kids being homeschooled, and they would travel with their children. So I could see how it could be difficult, because their business is now the fun part is now what is the traveling is their business. Oh, so it's really it could be, yeah, the fun thing to do is now the travel part. And yeah, so you are enjoying all this luxury but in pain. So even the way people say, oh, you know what, I'd rather be crying in a mansion. Mm-mm. Sarah has proved to us that you'd rather be crying in a bed sitter in a studio apartment, but not in a mansion, because it could be very, very, very frustrating. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I'll stop here today. Um yeah, I'll stop here today. We shall continue. There's so much to unpack about their story. I like to draw lessons from everything I watch and come across, and put myself in their shoe and see what I could do different, so that now when you're put in that situation, you kind of are aware. So it's just not to watch stories or see things, but drawing lessons from what you're coming across. Otherwise, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please let's subscribe. My goal is to grow the channel more. I will be doing more lives and doing more short form videos and long form videos. Um, I like to cook and do a lot more. So there's a lot to learn from me and from this channel. Otherwise, thank you. Please leave a comment. Let me know so far what is the lesson you get from what I have shared so far. And yeah, otherwise, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, um, that's all from me. Please subscribe, comment, like the video, and thank you so much. Until the next one. Yeah, bye bye.